Welcome to Mint Stocks. I'm your host, Andy Hodges. In our previous episode, we explained to you about how we would make it easier to understand the stock exchange, and that's what we're going to do today. If you understand the mechanics of the stock exchange, the why and the how, then you'll be able to understand the why and the how it will be relevant to you in today's world. And that's what we're going to do today. To understand the how and why, we're going to have to tell you a little bit of history. People in the world have been trading stocks for over 800 years. In Zimbabwe, the stock market is 123 years old. In fact, the stock market started in around 1894, when really companies that were coming to colonize, our colonialists, were coming in to try and make their fortunes from the minerals that were held in our country. And they saw the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, or in those days the Salisbury Stock Exchange, as an avenue for them to raise money for exploration and for mining of our minerals. 4 years later, exchanges were established in Mutare, Gwelo, Gweru, and Bulawayo. So we now had 4 stock exchanges in Zimbabwe. However, by 1902, the demand for our minerals had slackened. So as a result, the stock exchange closed down. In 1945, due to pressure put by the British South African Company and various business organizations, principally one in Bulawayo, pushed for the reopening of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, which happened in 1945. Why 1945? Well, it was exactly the time when the Second World War broke out. And of course, what happened? The countries in Europe needed our minerals, needed our wealth in order for them to carry out their war effort. As a result, the stock exchange went through a boom period from 1945. That is what today we call the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. And in fact, a bit of fun fact, the original brokers used to live in huts along Causeway in Harare. That must have been some fun, living in huts and broking. But understand one thing about the stock exchange. It is a driver of economic growth. It is how ordinary people invest in the stock market, invest in companies to create wealth for themselves, to create money for themselves. And as a result, it drives wealth, and the companies are able to attract investment from ordinary people. One of the major drivers as well, which is not known, was local municipalities. Why? Because they found it a nice way or a good way to raise finance for their operations in their cities. So as a result, they were also one of the major drivers. Because don't forget, the stock exchange is not just for companies and so forth to raise money. Municipalities, government authorities can use it to raise finance for their operations. And more importantly, you can get involved in the stock market. All this story about it being complicated, can't do it, it's not possible, we're here to prove to you that is not correct. And in fact, this show will take you step by step through the process. Remember what I said in the previous episode? Knowledge is power. We're going to give you the knowledge, and hopefully we're going to give you the power. So remember, having the knowledge and the background of where the stock market came from actually gives you the knowledge of what to do today. We're going to teach you in our next episode where you can buy them. Who'd you go to? What is the stock market? What are stocks? This and all will be explained simply and perfectly here on Mint Stocks. Goodbye.